October 30th, 2025. Diddy finally got transferred to Fort Dix, the facility his lawyers specifically requested. Then CBS News obtained his intake photo showing gray hair and tired eyes. Now leaked footage reveals his brutal daily routine: 5 a.m. wake-ups, laundry duty for 23 cents an hour, and sharing a dorm with 8 other inmates. Here's what life behind bars really looks like. October 30th, 2025. The transfer that changed everything.
Sean Diddy Combs was transferred to the federal prison at Fort Dix, New Jersey yesterday, where he will start to serve the rest of his 50-month sentence.
After 13 months in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, watching his empire crumble from behind bars since that September 2024 arrest, Diddy finally got his wish. His lawyers had specifically requested Fort Dix. Attorney Tenny Garagos wrote to the judge about addressing drug abuse issues, maximizing family visitation, and rehabilitative efforts. 75 miles south of New York City. Closer to family than Brooklyn ever was. MDC Brooklyn had been, in the words of those who'd been there, horrible. Fort Dix was supposed to be the upgrade, the largest single federal prison in the United States, 4,100 total male inmates, 3,900 at the main facility, another 200 at the satellite minimum security camp. CBS News obtained something exclusive shortly after his arrival. The intake photo tells a story his lawyers never wanted to tell. Gray hair is visible everywhere, tired eyes staring at the camera, wearing that standard-issue prison uniform. The reality setting in hard. But here's what most people don't understand about Fort Dix. There are no traditional prison cells. The entire facility operates on open dormitory-style housing, retrofitted from old military barracks back in 1992. Some units house 12 inmates, 6 bunk beds crammed into small dorms. Then there are the larger open bay dorms, holding 100 men at once. Think about that. 100 men trying to exist in one space. According to publicist Judah Engelmeyer, Diddy's sharing a room with 8 other inmates, not getting special treatment and living among the general population. The man who once had personal assistants to fetch water bottles, now waiting in line for a toilet. 5 a.m. every single day. Fluorescent lights flood the dorms. There's no sleeping in, no exceptions. Inmates scramble to get ready. Line up for head count. The regimented schedule begins whether you're ready or not. By 6 a.m., it's breakfast. Mass-produced institutional food. Nothing remotely close to his former lifestyle, no personal chef, no catering, standing in line with everyone else and eating what's served. Complaints are not accepted, and most of the time, not even considered. Then comes the work assignment everyone's been talking about, the laundry facility and the chapel library position.
In the clip obtained by TMZ, the disgraced rapper could be seen taking off his blue jacket and scarf while chatting with another inmate at the prison's media library in the chapel. Combs was reportedly getting ready to begin his work shift, which consists of giving movies and religious materials to other inmates.
TMZ obtained footage of this reality. Diddy sorting uniforms for inmates, washing linens and sheets, operating industrial dryers with mass loads of garments daily. Federal inmates are required to work, period. The irony isn't lost on anyone who remembers the designer brands, the $1,000 outfits. Someone online put it perfectly.
Diddy once paid people to wash his sneakers. Now he's scrubbing floors for free.
CBS News also revealed his second assignment at the chapel library, distributing movies to inmates and handling religious materials, which is considered to be one of the more desirable jobs at Fort Dix. Quieter than laundry. Definitely quieter than kitchen duty. It came with actual perks, access to a private air-conditioned office. His publicist called it warm and respectful and rewarding. Said he works in the chapel library. They tried making it sound almost pleasant. The reality? He's just doing what he's told. Just like everyone else. No choices and no control. Work assignments stretch to 4 p.m. Multiple head counts throughout the day. Officers are constantly verifying everyone's present, which can happen 5 to 6 times daily. This means constant interruptions to whatever they're doing, a routine that'll surely exhaust anyone eventually. Evening brings limited recreation time, access to the prison yard, basketball courts if you want them. a track for walking or running. TV room with basic channels and no internet access whatsoever. Phone calls heavily monitored, every word potentially recorded. And about those phone calls, CBS News reported Diddy violated prison rules making a three-way call on November 3rd. They claimed he was having a conversation with his legal team about issuing a statement to the New York Times. That phone call got him 90 days without phone and commissary privileges. His publicist tried clarifying everything and said the call wasn't initiated by Sean, insisting it was initiated by his lawyers and is protected by attorney-client confidentiality. But here's what's interesting. On November 12th, his release date got pushed back by a month, from May 8th, 2028 to June 4th, 2028. No reason given as of press time. Meals come 3 times daily in the prison's dining hall. Former inmates say they often get expired food. Nothing gourmet, nothing fresh, and no special dietary accommodations unless medically necessary. They say you'll learn to appreciate anything that doesn't taste like cardboard. There are commissary privileges at least. Purchase additional items, snacks, hygiene products, clothing, limited selection, and the prices are marked up significantly. Their money comes from an outside account. $320 monthly spending limit. Rationing becomes necessary real quick. At 10 p.m., mandatory lights out. The dorm settles down, somewhat. 100 men trying to sleep in those open bay dorms, snoring, talking, noise, never truly quiet, never peaceful. And tomorrow starts at 5 a.m. again. Remember that publicist calling it warm and respectful? Well, former inmates tell a completely different story. One inmate who spent 17 months there between 2019 and 2020 told reporters something chilling.
I was there a day and a half. This is not a jail. This is an insane asylum. And he agreed. It was a zoo.
Joe Giudice from Real Housewives of New Jersey spent 41 months at Fort Dix. He told reporters Combs's fate depends on how he carries himself.
As long as he keeps a low profile and doesn't try to act like a big shot, he'll be fine.
Then added this gem.
I've seen people get stabbed over an onion. You ain't in there with the most stable people.
They said the federal prison is low security, but Diddy's longtime lawyer, Mark Garagos, previously told Harvey on Two Angry Men podcast that Diddy will have a target on his back wherever he ends up.
Giudice also witnessed activities in the early morning hours that guards apparently just ignore. Said he'd get up at 3 or 4 a.m. to use the bathroom and see the craziest things. People you'd never imagine. Guards hear the showers going at night and look the other way. Another former inmate described conditions that contradict any positive spin.
There's one bathroom per floor with toilets and showers, and everything is broken. A lot of the food is expired. It's horrible. They don't care.
But here's where it gets interesting. The things money can still buy. Giudice revealed inmates can pay for special services, shoes shined, security, clothes tailored, chefs making food. That's just how it is, he said. Still so far from the life he lived outside those prison walls. His empire, completely gone. Visits are sacred, but heavily policed, according to Tyler King, a former inmate and prison reform advocate.
You get one hug at the start, one at the end. Everything in between must be proper. Handhold too long, and your visit ends immediately.
His 7 kids have remained in his corner, posting birthday tributes on social media. Whether they've visited Fort Dix yet remains unclear. The holidays present their own challenges. King explained that a special meal might come, or it might not. This year's Thanksgiving menu at Fort Dix offered deli meats or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Christmas lunch included baked Cornish hen, mashed potatoes, and fruit, or a holiday dessert. Nothing like the lavish celebrations he once threw. His family remained supportive. His 7 kids posted birthday messages when he turned 56 in early November.
We love you. We miss you.
Quincy wrote.
Happy birthday to the best dad ever.
His twin daughters added. But they weren't there, and the world kept moving without him. His release date currently sits at June 4th, 2028. That's potentially 22 to 24 months with time off for good behavior, possibly minus another 6 months in a halfway house. His lawyers filed an expedited appeal in November, with arguments scheduled for April 2026. Diddy has the best appellate team, sources say. He's in solid hands. But right now, none of that changes the reality. Every morning at 5 a.m., the lights come on. Every day, he reports to work. Every night, he returns to that bunk in a room full of strangers. The man who once had everything now has a prison number and a release date that feels impossibly far away. But routines and schedules only tell part of the story. To understand what Fort Dix is really like, you have to hear from someone who lived it right alongside him. December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, Sebastian Telfair walked out of FCI Fort Dix a free man. His kids were waiting. The relief was immense. But what everyone really wanted to know about wasn't his release. It was his cellmate, the most famous inmate in federal custody, Sean "Diddy" Combs. Hours after getting out, Telfair sat down with TMZ for his first interview, and he didn't hold back. For Telfair, the former NBA lottery pick who played 10 years in the league, prison represented a dramatic fall, from NBA arenas to a prison dorm, from private planes to 5 a.m. wake-up calls, from courtside seats to concrete yards. It was rough. He admitted that openly. But then he thought about Diddy.
I couldn't imagine how Diddy felt,
Telfair said. From penthouses to prison cells, from private jets to prison buses, from bad boy records to federal custody. Still, according to Telfair, Diddy hasn't fallen apart.
Judge Aaron said he wouldn't recommend Fort Dix, but he would recommend a Northeast facility. The only problem was, why did he get sent by Fort Dix? It's not because he did anything special. It's not because they took pity on him. It's because, right? Because he had a shorter sentence.
That wasn't just empty talk. Telfair had seen it firsthand. He'd been living in the same facility, walking the same yards, eating the same meals. He watched Diddy navigate a world that strips away every advantage fame and money provide, and what he saw was someone maintaining composure, following the rules, staying disciplined.
Where he's at, they're gonna help him,
Telfair added, referencing Fort Dix's RDAP program, the drug treatment initiative that could potentially reduce Diddy's sentence. Telfair wasn't being judgmental. He was being honest. Everyone saw the lifestyle, the parties, the excess, the freak-offs that became central to the prosecution's case, the drugs, the control, the manipulation. Now in prison, that life had stopped. Completely. And maybe, Telfair suggested that forced pause was exactly what Diddy needed.
This is what kills me about the prison system. They know. Because these people, if you're doing life in jail, you got life, man.
Prison viewed as a forced reflection. Time to evaluate. Time to heal. A perspective you don't hear often, but one that made sense coming from someone who just lived it.
I couldn't imagine how Diddy felt, but Diddy's holding it down. He's doing what he's got to do. Diddy was living a rock star life, so I'm glad he's going to get the time to just relax. Diddy's in good spirits. He's still Diddy.
That statement, Diddy's still Diddy, carried weight, not because it excused anything, but because it revealed something about identity behind bars. Prison doesn't change who you fundamentally are. It tests you. It strips away the facade. But the core remains. Telfair said Diddy's in good spirits. Not broken, not depressed, not falling apart. Still carrying that confidence that made him a mogul in the first place. Just now, in olive prison greens instead of designer suits.
These first photos of Diddy at the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution in South Jersey surfaced on TMZ over the weekend. In one, Diddy is smiling in his gray knit cap, looking happy and relaxed.
This was not he image people expected. Not the broken mogul tabloids wanted to portray. Just a man adjusting to a new reality. Finding routine, finding structure, finding humanity in an unexpected place. Telfair mentioned meeting good people inside, not just Diddy, but others. Men from all walks of life, all with stories, all serving time. The prison community formed bonds that wouldn't exist anywhere else. The contrast between their experiences was striking. Telfair received early release, December 23rd, when he expected December 26th. A genuine Christmas miracle for his family. But Diddy, he'll likely serve his full term. Different charges, different outcomes, yet the same daily experience. Same food, same dorms, same 5 a.m. wake-ups. Fort Dix isn't the MDC Brooklyn where Diddy started. That was maximum security. Dangerous, isolating. Fort Dix is minimum security, more freedom, better programs. The location chosen specifically by Diddy's legal team for its rehabilitation opportunities and proximity to family for visitation.
Federal judge this afternoon has approved their appeal of the verdict to be heard as early as next spring. They want both charges dropped, claiming the law was mistakenly applied to his case.
The RDAP program Telfair referenced could be game-changing. Federal drug treatment programs can reduce sentences by up to 12 months. For someone facing 50 months, that reduction matters significantly. Telfair's own journey to Fort Dix came through violation of supervised release. After pleading guilty in 2023 to healthcare fraud, he walked with probation, 3 years supervised release, community service requirements, regular check-ins. But he didn't complete the community service, didn't report consistently, small violations that added up. August 2024, the judge sent him back. 6 months at Fort Dix, supposed release in February 2025. But he got out early. Good behavior.
Were you aware that you were going to come home 2 days before Christmas?
No, I thought I was going to come home 2 days after Christmas.
Okay.
And then, you know, God always doing what he do for me, so.
That healthcare fraud case was massive. 18 former NBA players total, all submitting fraudulent medical claims against the NBA's health and welfare plan. Dental work that never happened, medical procedures never performed, total losses around $4 million. The scheme eventually collapsed. Federal investigators don't miss financial fraud of that scale. Indictments came in October 2021. Telfair fought initially, then accepted reality. The plea deal in 2023 seemed generous. Then he violated terms, and the leniency evaporated. But now, released and looking forward, Telfair had news.
You're going back to the NBA to do like some kind of work there. Have you had any offers from anyone in the NBA asking you to come back and do some kind of work there?
Well, I just signed with a new agent. Hi, Kimberly, how you doing?
I know that's right.
So
you got a new agent.
I got a new agent. I'm going to be playing in the Big Three.
The Big Three League, Ice Cube's 3-on-3 basketball venture featuring former NBA players. A chance to compete again. To prove he still had game. Coming for the MVP in a league designed for exactly this type of redemption story. Meanwhile, inside Fort Dix, Diddy's situation continued unfolding. His legal team wasn't giving up. December 23rd, the same day Telfair walked free, Diddy's attorneys filed an emergency appeal of his 50-month sentence.
Defendants typically get sentenced to less than 15 months for these offenses. Even when coercion, which the jury didn't find here, is involved, he sits in prison today serving a 50-month sentence because the district judge acted as a 13th juror.
The defense argued the sentence was excessive, pointing to typical Mann Act convictions resulting in 15 months or less. They claimed the judge acted as a 13th juror, considering evidence beyond the jury's actual findings. The appeal called it a perversion of justice. Legal analysts weren't buying it.
Alicia, always great to be on with you. Let's be very frank about this case. You can't unsee what you saw, you can't unhear what you heard, and you can't unremember what you read. And it's clear that that judge took certain things in consideration that were part of the evidence, and it is permitted under the Mann Act.
The defense tried another angle. They suggested the recorded encounters qualified as amateur pornography between consenting adults, protected under the First Amendment. The argument stretched credibility to its breaking point.
This departure from what should have been imposed on Sean Combs, they're also arguing, which is a real stretch, that these freak-offs and these hotel encounters were really amateur free. It's going to be a real stretch to get to overturn that sentencing, especially when you look at the guidelines on itself under the Mann Act. It's between 70 and 80 months. The judge gave 50 months here. So this type of these arguments, frankly, if I looked at my crystal ball, it's going to fail.
Federal sentencing guidelines for Mann Act violations actually ranged from 70 to 80 months. Diddy received 50. The judge showed restraint, not overreach.
His defense team really feels that there is a problem with the Mann Act. You can certainly lobby against that act and have it rendered unconstitutional, but it's historically sound, it's constitutional, nothing's been overturned.
The appeal's chances, slim to none. The Mann Act remains constitutionally sound. The judge followed proper procedures, everything by the book.
That's him, that's Diddy. And they chatted it up for a second. He said Diddy's holding it down. He's doing what he got to do, and where he's at, they're going to help him. He clarified that Diddy had previously been living a rock star life.
Telfair's public support mattered, though, not legally, but humanly. Seeing someone as just a person, not headlines. Prison strips away everything else: title, status, wealth, power. What remains is who you actually are. The story continues unfolding, appeals pending, programs enrolling. Time is passing. Telfair's now preparing for his Big 3 comeback, rebuilding life after consequences. Diddy's still inside, facing his reality, following the structure, doing the work. Two men from completely different worlds. Basketball and music, different crimes, different sentences, different futures, but the same experience of watching everything familiar disappear. The same challenge of maintaining dignity when circumstance strips away comfort. And according to someone who lived it alongside him, Diddy's doing exactly that. November 2025, Sean Diddy Combs officially enrolled in a program that could change everything. Not just his release date, but potentially his life, the Residential Drug Abuse Treatment Program at Fort Dix. 9 to 12 months of intensive cognitive behavioral therapy, living in a therapeutic community, confronting the demons that led him here.
Fort Dix is a minimum security facility. He's not in general population, but in a special housing area for inmates in drug treatment programs.
The incentives impossible to ignore. Complete the program, get up to 1 year off your sentence. For Diddy, that means May 2027 instead of May 2028. 12 months of freedom. But here's what most people miss. RDAP isn't some easy checkbox program. It's the Bureau of Prisons' most intensive drug treatment, modified therapeutic community model. Daily therapy circles, written reflections, accountability exercises you can't fake your way through. His publicist confirmed the enrollment with carefully chosen words.
Committed to sobriety, focused on healing, trying to set an example.
The PR spin machine working overtime. But documents obtained by CBS News tell a different story about how he qualified. During trial, Diddy's attorney Tenny Garagos admitted something crucial. Documented substance abuse problems within 12 months before arrest. That admission opened the door to RDAP eligibility. Without it, no program. Without the program, no sentence reduction. The legal strategy becomes clear in hindsight. But qualification doesn't guarantee acceptance. Thousands sit on RDAP waiting lists across federal prisons. You need at least 24 months remaining on your sentence to even apply. Drug abuse program coordinators assess every candidate, verify the substance abuse disorder, check the documentation. Then comes the wait. Joe Giudice knows the reality. His message about the waiting list was blunt. Diddy didn't just walk into a program. There's other people ahead of him. But somehow, his celebrity status and strategic legal maneuvering cleared a path.
Well, everybody's different. I'm sure he went back with somewhat disappointed, so he's probably, dwelling on that. Hey, it could have been differently. Maybe I should have gotten out. Maybe he's a little bit upset, a little bit angry. I get it. All those emotions come into play. But right now, he's got to get ready.
His lawyers had specifically requested Fort Dix in their sentencing recommendations. Judge Subramanian initially pushed back, saying defendants can't just pick their facility. The Bureau of Prisons makes those calls. Except somehow, Diddy ended up exactly where his team wanted. Strategic planning, paying off. The program structure breaks into 3 distinct phases. Phase 1, residential unit-based treatment. You live in separate RDAP housing, away from the general population. Intensive daily therapy, group counseling sessions, cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, relapse prevention training. This phase earns you a certificate of completion, but you're not done, not even close. Phase 2 transitions into community integration preparation, continuing therapy while gradually increasing interaction with the broader prison population, developing life skills, following every program rule without exception. 1 infraction, 1 failed drug test, 1 disciplinary report, and you're out. The certificate means nothing if you don't complete all 3 phases. Prison consultant Christopher Zukis calls the sentence reduction massive for federal inmates. 1 full year off a 50-month sentence represents real time, real freedom. The motivation being obvious, but the requirements are brutal.
I think 3 factors that sort of work together to create a perfect storm. The first is chronic understaffing. So the jail is routinely operating.
Daily therapy circles demand vulnerability most inmates never show, sharing intimate personal details with fellow prisoners, opening up about addiction's root causes, confronting past behavior without deflecting, no hiding behind money or status or PR representatives. The therapeutic community model strips away every defense mechanism. You live with other RDAP participants in this modified therapeutic community, supporting each other's recovery, peer accountability, structured daily schedule with no downtime, half day in program, half day at work assignment. Diddy's working in the chapel library while attending RDAP sessions. The schedule is designed to keep idle hands busy and minds focused. But here's where Diddy's story gets complicated. November 3rd, 4 days after arriving at Fort Dix, he got caught violating phone regulations. 3-way call, prohibited under Bureau of Prisons rules. He called an unnamed woman, discussed bringing 200 singles for a visiting weekend, then added someone described as the digital person to discuss blogs. Prison officials recommended 90 days loss of phone privileges, 90 days loss of commissary privileges. The penalty was filed on his 56th birthday. His publicist claimed it was routine attorney-client privileged communication, procedural call initiated by his lawyer. Nothing improper, but the disciplinary report tells a different version. Combs allegedly said he never received the prison admission and orientation handbook outlining phone rules. Then TMZ reported he got drunk on prison-made alcohol. Inmates fermenting fruit into hooch or pruno. Strictly prohibited. Another violation on his record. His team denied it immediately, posting on his X account about becoming the best version of himself. The damage control operating at full speed. Former warden Dwayne Hendricks didn't mince words about what these violations mean. If Diddy hopes to enter RDAP successfully, he'll need to demonstrate good institutional adjustment. That means keeping a clean record, following staff direction, and showing genuine commitment.
But 4 years, 5 years is 5 years, 4 years and 2 months rather.
Right, because there is 14 months time served. So you're looking at about maybe 3 years?
RDAP acceptance doesn't guarantee completion. The program demands good institutional adjustment, clean disciplinary record, following staff direction without question. Diddy's already stumbled, twice, within weeks of enrollment. The pattern raises questions about genuine commitment versus strategic manipulation. Judge Mathis had strong opinions about what should have been required in Diddy's sentence. The defense missed the boat on his mental illness. Mathis argued. Diddy admitted being bipolar. That requires treatment, medication, and professional intervention. Not just therapy sessions, but mandatory chemical rebalancing. The judge should have ordered it as part of sentencing.
And as such, the sentence should have also included it. The judge should have required him to obtain treatment as part of his sentence.
The judge's perspective highlights what many see as the program's real value: mandatory treatment addressing addiction at its root. Not punishment alone, but rehabilitation. Cognitive behavioral therapy teaches new coping mechanisms. Relapse prevention provides tools for life after release. Life skills development, preparing inmates for productive citizenship. But skepticism about Diddy's sincerity runs deep. Can someone truly change after decades of behavior patterns? After using power and wealth to avoid consequences? Is this genuine rehabilitation or calculated gaming of the system for sentence reduction? Can both be true simultaneously?
Do you accept responsibility for the violation of the law? And he has not said it.
Specifically said it out of the gate.
Yes.
I don't want to let God down. I have no one to blame but myself. I know I will never put my hands on another person again.
The therapeutic community model forces confrontation with these questions. Living with other participants who've hit rock bottom strips away pretense. Peer accountability means fellow inmates call out manipulation. The vulnerability required being intense. Many don't complete RDAP precisely because they can't sustain that level of openness. What disqualifies participants? Getting caught with contraband, any rule violations, failed drug tests, not participating fully in therapy, missing required sessions, bad behavior reports. The bar was set high intentionally. RDAP isn't meant to be an easy time off your sentence. It's meant to fundamentally change how you think about addiction and consequences. Diddy's violations already threaten his eligibility. The phone call incident alone shows disregard for rules. According to sources close to the investigation, the alleged alcohol consumption, if proven, would be even worse. Prison officials are watching his every move now. One more slip and he's out.
A history of good works can't wash away the record in this case. You abuse these women. You use that abuse to get your way, freak-offs and hotel nights. The evidence of the abuse is massive. I was sitting right here during the testimony.
Post-release requirements extend RDAP's reach beyond prison walls. 5 years supervised release ordered after completing his sentence. Regular check-ins with probation officers. Drug testing continues indefinitely. Travel restrictions, can't leave jurisdiction without permission. The monitoring does not end at prison gates. What successful RDAP completion would actually look like? Finishing all 3 phases, earning the 1-year reduction, staying sober throughout incarceration, no more violations, genuine reflection, growth, transformation, emerging as a different person. May 2027 release instead of May 2028. 1 year back with his family. But there's an alternative scenario. Getting kicked out of RDAP, losing the time off opportunity, serving the full 50 months, no early release, May 2028 release date standing firm. The stakes are impossibly high. Everything depends on choices he makes every single day behind those walls.
He arrived at Fort Dix Prison in New Jersey last week, and tonight we're getting a look at him interacting with other inmates.
All right, Fox 5's Lisa Evers joins us now with the very latest and interesting image we got to see today.
The rehabilitation versus strategy debate continues. Cynics see calculated moves for sentence reduction. Believers see genuine commitment to healing. But perhaps both can be true simultaneously. Perhaps the desire to get out a year early provides the initial motivation, while the program itself creates authentic transformation.
They made me sit in the cell and take every braid out of my hair before I was let into population.
I mean, for somebody like who's a billionaire beforehand, somebody like Diddy, it must be.
Fort Dix's therapeutic community will strip away every excuse, every rationalization, every defense mechanism built over decades of unchecked power. Daily therapy circles demanding vulnerability money can't buy. Group counseling requiring honesty status can't fake. Peer accountability from fellow inmates who see through celebrity facade.
Judge did say earlier you have not expressed remorse for the Mann Act violations.
He's now showing that remorse.
Well, he's also, no. You've got to address that directly.
The transporting
you
of the
prostitutes? You got to say, I should never
Yeah.
have done what I did by hiring.
Not said that. Correct.
And that's what the judge is asking.
I should never have transported
That's what the
prostitutes
judge is asking for.
Yeah.
The judge has given him a huge signal.
And if he completes it, if he emerges sober, self-aware, genuinely changed, then RDAP will have proven its worth, once again. Not because Diddy deserves redemption more than anyone else, but because the program works when participants commit, because addiction treatment reduces harm, because rehabilitation serves society better than simple warehousing.
So where are we now? You know, we're looking at 50 months, which is
less than what the prosecution wanted, which is less than what the sentencing guidelines were. So the judge even came in below that. And so if, in light of everything that he was facing from the very beginning, even to now, it's really a good deal for him.
The residential drug abuse treatment program isn't Diddy's get-out-of-jail-free card. It's his last chance to become something other than a cautionary tale. His opportunity to prove that even the most powerful, privileged, protected people can hit rock bottom, confront their demons, and climb back toward light. May 2027 or May 2028, the redemption path or the alternative scenario, transformation or manipulation, hope or cynicism. Everything depends on choices made daily in Fort Dix's RDAP unit. The clock is ticking down, and the decision is entirely his.